So Allegra, I'm Allegra for those who don't know. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for everything fashion, beauty, lifestyle. Pretty much today we're going to be doing a thrifted transformation on this denim button up I'm wearing now. I did a poll on my Instagram, which you guys should go ahead and follow me on, asking which outfit that I found on lulus.com that I should make out of this denim. You know, one was this very cute top with like the, butterfly type of sleeves, and then the other was a matching set, and I really liked both. And it came really close, but in the end, the matching set won, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get into it. To create the skirt, I'm going to trace a skirt that fits me very well and using my waist measurements to decide where the front seams are. I'm going to mark halfway in between the waist and then halfway in between each half side. I'm going to use those marks as a guide and create the front seams by following the natural curve of the skirt. Here I'm just going to go ahead and cut out my pattern. I only need one side piece because I can use that pattern for both sides of the skirt. And I'm going to only use my middle piece, and I did not add seam allowance because I will add it when I pin it to the denim and cut it out. To make sure everything is symmetrical, I folded the center piece on the half mark line and then cut off the excess. For the back pattern of the skirt, I'm going to just go ahead and fold the skirt in half and trace around it, simple and easy like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and we'll have all three pieces to our skirt. For the top, I'm going to measure where I want my neckline to begin and end, which will be 17 centimeters, and I'm going to mark that on the muslin. For my princess seam, I'm going to measure nip to nip and divide that by 2, and that's going to give me one side. Once I do that, I'm going to measure that 11 centimeters from the center line where it will begin and connect. And then I'm going to mark from the hem until where I want the top to stop and connect those points with my measuring tape. Here I'm just using my curved ruler to kind of round out that neckline because I didn't want it just straight. I wanted it slightly slanted. And once that's done, you know it's time to cut it. For the side front piece, I'm going to first measure my shoulder to hem length. Then I'm going to use a shirt that fits me well to draw out my armhole and continue a straight line with the remainder measurement from the shoulder to hem length. Once my side piece is done, I'm going to use that same piece to mark out my back piece. I had to do some math for this back piece, guys. You're going to take your complete upper chest measurements and subtract the 2 front side pieces and center pieces from that. And what you will have left will be the remainder of space for your back piece, and you're going to divide that by 2. Once you're done with all that hard work, honey, you're going to finally have all your pieces. Here I'm just marking how many of each piece I need, and we can get right into cutting out our denim. First thing we are going to do is chuck the deuces, word to Chris Brown, to this button placket and this collar. So give it one last look because, honey, it's the end of the road. Now it's time to dissect this guy. So we're cutting off the sleeve, the front, the back. They're all going to be separated and opened into several pieces so we can see how much fabric we have to work with. fashion flies. So I had a slight conundrum. I did not have enough denim from the button-up shirt, so I had to bring in some denim friends. I have this Calvin Klein skirt, which is with this light wash look to it. And I also have these American Eagle jeans that are also just too small for me. The Calvin Klein skirt fits, but I'm not like crazy about it, so it's like I can get rid of it. So I'm gonna test it out to see which wash I like better with it. I feel like I'm doing my own Project Runway challenge right now. Let's do it. So in a summary, I pretty much just cut out all the pieces as much as I could on as much fabric as I could. I then brought in my fashion friends, the other denim that you will see, and I decided to get really creative. And I decided to use those washes and create my own mix-matched patchwork, and it turned out pretty cool. Finally, we're sewing. We're going to start with the front of the skirt, and I'm going to pin my two princess seams against the center front piece, and we're going to just do a straight stitch down those pinned areas. Make sure you press those seams so everything lays nice and flat, just like that. Then I'm going to pin the back pieces to the right sides of the front and sew. For the front pieces, I'm going to go ahead and pin them right sides together and do a straight stitch down the center with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. This is how the top is looking so far. I've sewed the side panels on, and I'm going to use the waistband from the skirt as the hem of the top and do a straight stitch down. To secure the back, I'm going to pin and sew two of these snap buttons. I'm going to go with the silver one. I'm just going to do two vertically aligned with the button. For the skirt, I sewed together scraps of fabric and created a waistband for the hem and the top. And I'm going to sew it down, and then I'm going to fold it over and do a straight stitch down for the hem and waistband. I'm also going to go ahead and sew the skirt together and add in a zipper. And here is the final transformation.